You're listening to Scariff Bay Community Radio, and we're here in Dr Daly Park in Tulla for the TUS Senior Hurling Championship Relegation semi-final between Scariff and Corofin. Our match team are Pat McNamara on analysis and Leo Doyle on commentary. Our sponsor is Bane's Gift Shop in Scariff.
Good afternoon, and you're all very welcome here to Dr Daly Park here in Tulla for the match that really no one wants to be in the Senior Hurling Championship. Is the relegation, the second of the two relegation semi-finals today between Scariff in the green and white and Corofin in the red and white. St Joseph's, unfortunately for them, have already qualified for that final, followed a 1 point defeat to to Newmarket yesterday here. I'm joined in by an analysis by Pat McNamara, and we're going to give you the line out first of all of both teams. Starting with the green and white of Scariff. In goals is William Kavanagh. Scott Cairns, Michael Scanlon and Owen Keehan is the full back line. Shane Kavanagh, Diarmuid Nash and Sean Collins the half back line. Conor Downs and Keelan Hartigan are in the middle of the field. Rossa Keehan, Patrick Crotty and Matthew Crotty the half forward line, and the full forward line is Patrick Ryan, Mark Rogers and Ian O'Brien. So the big news for Scariff is that Liam Crotty has failed at 8 fitnesses and does not start for Scariff. For Corofin in the red and white, in goals is Liam Corbett. Full back line is Colin Fitzgerald, Damien O'Loughlin and Evan Doolan. Killian McRory, Killian O'Connor and Sean O'Brien is the half back line. Gerard Cahill and Gerard Hanrahan are in the middle of the field. James Organ, Micheál Duffy and Gerard Kelly the half forward line, with Diarmuid Cahill, Kevin Keane and Nsinin Kirby the full forward line. Pat, good afternoon, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Leo. Good to be here for this game, as you said, that the teams don't really want to be involved in, but they're in it now and they have to make the most of it, and I'm sure it'll be a highly competitive one indeed, because nobody wants to get into that last game where anything can happen. So conditions are nice, Leo. The bit of rain we had earlier on, the showers kind of cleared up a bit. It's bright here. The pitch, as usual, in absolute grand condition. So looking forward to this one, and let's hope it's a really good game.
Yeah, and then Joe Corbett, Seamus Murphy in charge of the field here, and also John Kearney, who does a tremendous job as the line doing the lines and all that.
Yeah.
They're as level as you'd ever see anywhere. Joe Mullins is our referee today. Pat, we've seen both teams, as you said, the conditions are a lot better than we expected. We expected worse. The loss of Liam Crotty to Scariff cannot be underestimated.
No, and I suppose they cancel each other out, but Liam Crotty is a fabulous player, a fabulous young player. He can play wing forward, as we know, and he's played centre back this year and has made a good fist of that as well. A really classy player and a tremendous, I won't say prospect for the future, he's already here, but a huge loss. But he's replaced by Matt, and Matt Crotty, Matthew Crotty is a fabulous young player, I think, Leo. You've been saying he maybe should have been starting earlier in the season, and the bits I've seen of him, he looks very, very good indeed. Then on the other side, of course, Conor Lean, a huge loss to Corofin. He's not starting, he's there in a tracksuit leggings, alright. He's doing a bit of the warm-up as far as I can see, but whether he's available to win or not, I'm not sure, but he's taking a shot for a point now. I think he's over the bar there, but that would be a huge loss. His number 28 in his back. Let's see if we'll see him in. But Corofin, I think they're doughty fighters, Leo. There's always one big game in them, and Scariff will be hoping that this isn't the day that Corofin turn it on. Because Scariff were very athletic against Kilmaley the last days and over. I think the form of Kilmaley yesterday then has maybe raised Scariff's levels a bit. It's good for them that Kilmaley hammered the bridge yesterday, so that brings up Scariff maybe to maybe not being as poor as we thought.
Yeah, and also add to that, Ballyea getting over the challenge of Clonera, and they had a tremendous battle with Scariff as well. So
absolutely,
you'd probably give Scariff the slight nod. Scariff didn't win any of their group games, but you're looking at Corofin. They performed heroically again in Kilmona for 45 minutes.
Indeed.
Then they played the first 30 minutes against Bradford, where they were absolutely outstanding and just seemed to fall asleep in the second half. And they pulled the draw the last day, maybe in a nothing game as it turned out to be, but they still pulled the draw against a team that's staying qualified in Corofin, or in Clooney Quinn. So look at I suppose at the end of the day, Pat, in a game like this, form just goes out the window. Yeah,
so they're once-offs in many ways, but the other thing is that in the Clare Championship with the 4 groups, Leo, the lines are so fine between success and this situation where you're fighting against getting into the relegation final. I mean, there's really fine margins, and teams that are maybe have got to the quarter-final this weekend, a puck of the ball could have knocked them out as well and had them in this situation, or a puck or two of the ball in earlier rounds. The games are so close and unpredictable, and that's what makes it a brilliant championship. And Obviously, there's 2 big games later on this afternoon to decide who will be in the semi-finals, but this game is the game now that everybody's focused on here, and it's Scariff. Scariff, I can't say I saw any great driver energy in their warm-up, and they're coming along nice and relaxed out to the positions. Corofin in a huddle, but it's a dangerous one for Scariff, I think. I think Corofin will give this a rattle, and a real right good rattle. But at the end of the day, I think Scariff should prevail by a few points.
Yeah, and Corofin have won the toss and are going defending the goals. That's my more end here in Dr Daly Park. Gerard Kelly won the toss there ahead of the Scariff captain, Mark Rogers, and Mark is making his way down. And I tell you, there's been a lot of talk about Mark all year out the field. There's no doubt where Mark is going today. He's going direct to the canoe again, Pat.
Into Damien O'Loughlin, I'd say, and that'll be a good old battle. Yeah, he's gone in there with his fairly newly acquired bluish helmet, and we've seen him for many years since his young days in the yellow one, but that won't matter. It is what's in his hands and in his feet. We know what he can do, and we'll be ready to go in a minute. Everything's in readiness. Sun is out. Leo, breeze blowing towards the Mills end. I know you were in the townland down there.
The My More,
thank you. You can't beat local geography.
So Joe Mullins, the man in the middle, and we're just about ready to go here in Dr Daly Park for this intermediate or the senior relegation semi-final. The game is on, and the early ball won by Conor Downs. Conor Downs gets the ball out to Keelan Hartigan. Hartigan gets out to Kavanagh. Kavanagh can score from there. Delivers the ball. A shot from Shane. Unfortunately, Shane's delivery goes out to the right hand side and gone wide, and the score remains still no score here in Dr Daly Park. Liam Corbett, former county minor goalkeeper, with the puck out for Corofin, goes short over towards the far side, getting the ball back to Garrod Cahill. Garrod, of course, plays more or less back in the sweeper role, switches the play across here towards James Organ. James Organ is beaten, but blocked down, and comes to Patrick Crotty. Crotty hits the shot in towards Mark, and Mark gets it on the hand. Mark has it on the hand. Mark has been pulled back, and the original free given by Joe Mullins. I think even Mark is looking why wasn't the free given inside, and he's coming out to take this 60 metre free down towards the goals. And Scariff playing with the 8, Pat, whatever slight breeze is in it here in the first half.
There is a bit of a breeze. I don't think it's going to be massively affecting the game, but you never know. It certainly affected the games we saw yesterday, but Mark sort of penalised in a sense. He made a great catch inside while on an advantage to be a tap over 20 metre free, but for Manhavis, without putting the hicks on him from this 60 metres out, central enough, he's striking, and let's say it's looking.
Yeah, the first score of the game to Mark Rogers, and Mark looks in the mood and in form today. I saw a puck out coming from Liam Corbett. This is the man that does not do panic inside the goals. Here he goes short, or goes out here looking for McGrory. McGrory puts up the hand, but he's blocked down, beaten by Keehan. Out to Éanna O'Brien. Éanna O'Brien puts a lovely pass into Matthew. Matthew Crotty is beaten by Keelan O'Connor. Keelan O'Connor, the ball comes out. Here come Corofin with the wing back, Sean O'Brien. O'Brien gives it out to James Organ. Organ puts it back into the middle to O'Connor, and his pass is blocked down by Éanna O'Brien. Can Patrick Crotty get on it? Patrick being chased now by his county teammate Keelan O'Connor. Crotty puts a lovely ball in front of Patrick Ryan. Patrick coming out, being chased there by Evan Doolan. Patrick trying to take on the challenge, gets the hand pass away, gets the ball out to Rossi Keehan. Keehan gives it back to O'Brien. Can O'Brien sidestep and shoot? That's a lovely score from the stick of Éanna O'Brien. Scariff started well, Pat, 2 points to no score.
Yeah, good team score there. O'Brien, Patrick Ryan's first touch let him down, but he recovered very well and managed to find his man, and Keehan involved as well. A good score. Puck
out from Corbett to Cahill. Cahill out to McGrory. These passes maybe not sticking the ball away. Cahill tries to take on Keehan. He's robbed by Keehan. Well, great lovely flick from O'Brien to Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan has been chased by Colin Fitz. Can Ryan come in and shoot off? He's going to give it to Mark, and Mark came out on the peel, and that move, I don't know, that tummy move didn't work. Here's Liam Corbett, and Corbett drops it. Oh, he's in trouble. Does well. The second team gets the ball out to Colin Fitz. Colin Fitz going back. I tell you, they're living dangerously back here, getting the ball to Damien O'Loughlin. Gives it out to Cahill. Cahill gets rid of it up to the far side, looking for Dermot. Dermot Cahill, the wizard, gets out in front of Scott Cairns, and a push and the back by Scott Cairns. And there's no doubt about it, if Corofin are going to make hay, the wizard is inside, in around the full forward line, they have to get as much ball into Dermot Cahill as they can, Pat.
Yeah, and just 3 minutes in, they said the Corofin forwards were wondering, was anyone ever going to strike a ball up their way? There was a lot of fooling around their own defence there with the ball, and they nearly got punished badly for it, but they got away with it. First ball up to get a free, so a chance to get on the scoreboard and make it 2-1. Garrod Kelly with a really good free taker is Kelly. He's got a lot of scores this year, so let's see, can he add to it against what is a bit of a breeze.
Yeah, 40 metres out from the Scariff goal. William Kavanagh policing the goals here at the dressing room in here for the first half. And here comes Kelly. Kelly drills it over the bar. Good score from Garrod Kelly. 2 points for Scariff, 1 for Corofin. And that's what Corofin needed, because they looked a bit nervous.
They need that settle. I thought they did want to tear an inter, but they kind of were a little bit restless to get too involved and too tight on Scariff. The ball in the middle field now, Scariff in possession. Yeah,
that back off from William Kavanagh comes out to Hartigan. Hartigan puts it in, but the bend is back there. That's Garrod Cahill, the sweeper. Garrod. Great to see him back in full flight from injuries. The ball is with Kelly. Kelly gives it back to Cahill. Cahill has time to steady the feet. He makes a run, makes a dart run. He'll be looking for the run of the Wizard, and the Wizard makes the run. But Shane Kavanagh stands back in the pocket, and he's going to deliver a ball out from Mark. Mark making the Rogers. Mark making a break out in front of Damien Loughlin. Mark gets away from Loughlin. There's a free coming for Mark Rogers. Mark just turns and shoots over the bar. There's no doubt if they can get ball into Rogers, he's going to do damage. 3 points to 1 in favour of Scariff.
If Scariff, if Mark was in that position all through the championship for most of the games, Leo, I don't think they'd be in this game today. They might be heading into Cusack Park either yesterday or today, but it wasn't to be. He was out the field a good bit, but inside he's just such a great target man, and then the skill levels inside are just off the charts. So
yeah, that puck out from Carver comes out, and Kevin Keane loses the ball in the tackle, and the ball is won here. Shane Kavanagh coming up on the far side, on the right side, from the sideline. And a poor strike from Shane, had time to compose himself, but Scariff very, very much and in dominant here in this early stages. We've just gone 5.5 minutes, and Liam Corbett making his way around the goals there to take this, because we said this man doesn't do hurry, waiting for the runners for Corofin, not moving at the moment. But again, he gets a lovely ball out to Garrod Cahill, and a free. Brian Joe Shelton has stopped, and goes quick with the free. Joe Mullins not allowing that quick free, and the Wizard was coming out. That's a very interesting matchup inside before this free is taken. Scott Kearns and Diarmuid Cahill.
Absolutely. I mean, we know the talent Diarmuid Cahill has. He has injuries in the past as well, but I think he's at full fitness currently, and he's a target man. But the other thing is, I think Scariff will nearly be looking at a man with him and a man in front of him, because maybe they wouldn't rate some of the other Corofin forwards as dangerous. So let's see how that pans out. But certainly Cahill is a man that's going to be closely watched in there.
Cillian O'Connor is the man going taking this free inside his own 65-metre line. Where's he going to go? Where's Kevin Keane? Normally they're out man. O'Connor drives it. He drives it well, but he's turned out to the right hand side and gone wide, and had to force it into the breeze, and the puck out coming from William Kavanagh, surveying his options. Matthew Crotty makes a run, gets the ball out to Scott Kerr. And William drops it, gets it up at the second attempt, gets it out to Owen Keane. Owen Keane has had a very good championship for Scariff. His hand pass out to Diarmuid Nash, and the handball pass, quick hands on Diarmuid Nash out to Sean Collins. Sean Collins, another man who's had a very good championship for Scariff, out to Downs. Downs goes back into traffic, but gets it back to Diarmuid Nash. Diarmuid back in his favourite centre-back position, but Cahill is back there sweeping in front of Mark Rogers. Cahill gets that ball, brilliant block by Mark Rogers, turns and shoots. Does it come inside from Mark? In fact, he doesn't. It goes outside the right-hand post. But Pat, you can see with Scariff, your first line of defence is your full forward line, and Mark Rogers shows he can do the nitty-gritties as well when he has to.
Yeah, we've seen Mark working really hard for Clare as well. He does the lovely things, but he also does the hard work and stopping people coming out and setting up attacks. So he did very, very well there. Unlucky with the shot, just pulled it slightly across the goal.
That puck out from Crotty, or from Corbett, is blocked down by Patrick Crotty to Patrick Ryan. Ryan turns and shoots. That's another good score for Patrick Ryan. 4 points to 1 in favour of Scariff, and Scariff maybe putting on the burners. Corbett goes short again on this occasion. Cahill, as Corofin tried to walk out, Cahill shows his handball skills. He gets the ball out to Colin Fitzgerald, a late addition. He takes a lot of runs, a lot of steps there, and he's being pulled. And again, we talk about the day, it has been the field is wet. There is showers coming across, and you'd wonder about maybe when you're playing into the breeze. I know it's hard to give away position, but sometimes that direct ball is great when the short ball works. But in conditions like this, is it favourable, Pat?
Yeah, well, what you find there is Fitzgerald took about 4 of his steps before he came to the man. So anything after that, then the tackle was going to be 2 or 3 extra. He was pulled for. If he kept it on the hurley, until he got to the man and didn't handle it. But look at, we're all perfect up here in the stand.
Exactly.
Down there.
And here's this free from Mark Rogers, 40 metres out from the Corofin goal. Mark strikes it, And Max makes no mistake, puts it over the bar again to extend Scariff's advantages. Scariff 5, Corofin 1. And even, I know they're playing into the breeze, Pat, but it's worrying times for Corofin.
A bit, yeah, but it has a kind of feel to it of a relegation game, hasn't it? There isn't the cut and thrust of a normal championship game yet. We need someone to give it a right good shoulder, and giving away silly frees like that isn't going to help. Hanrahan there giving away a silly free. It isn't going to help Corofin's cause. But you're right, Corofin haven't the blood and thunder I expect of them at all. They're kind of meek and humble about it at the moment, and they'll have to pick it up soon before the gap develops.
Yeah, Michael Scanlon done well there. You're talking about a jostle. He took a jostle and maybe a push into the back from Gerard Hanrahan, and Mark Rogers just inside his own 65 metre line here. As we said, as the rain
crowd decided to come into this lovely stand here, Leo, they were outside enjoying the sun 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, the rain descends on Dr Daly Park, and as you said, bodies making their win. Here's the free for Mark. By the time he takes it, he'll be over his 65. He split the post, and the umpire is gone for the white flag again. 6 points to 1 in favour of Scariff. That's 4 points from the stick of Mark Rogers. Mark now out around the centre forward position. Patrick Crotty gone into the full forward position. Liam Corbett, a very, very busy goalkeeper with the puck out and the strength to the breeze. The breeze has straightened up. Here's Keelan Hartigan. Keelan. Of course, Corofin were in the relegation last year, defeated O'Callaghan's Mills to keep their senior status. The last time Scariff were in a relegation semi-final, they defeated Smith O'Brien's from Killaloo to keep their senior status on a day where I think it was Mark Rogers scored 4-12. He's already 4 points got today, so he's a bit of ground to go to make up that, but he's a sideline now here, 35 metres out from the Corofin goal. Tight here in front of the main stand here in Dr Daly Park. And here comes Mark. I wouldn't rule it out that he wouldn't put this one over. Mark cuts it. Is it coming inside? He's not. He stays outside. Didn't get the true strike that he normally gets. It stays outside the post. A quick puck out from Corbett. Out to Cahill. Cahill trying to take on Patrick Ryan. Not an easy job is that. Gets a lovely low ball. He's looking for Diarmuid Cahill. Diarmuid is looking for the free. No free accruing. Michael Scanlon sticking close to him. Michael Scanlon, who has recovered from Achilles injury to play today. Shane Kavanagh puts that ball across, looking for Rossi Keehan. Rossi Keehan does well. Hits the ball in towards Patrick Crotty. And the ball is Mark Rogers, but he's beaten by Sean O'Brien. O'Brien does well, trying to come out. Gets the ball out to Damien O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin's a really... and a swing by Patrick Crotty. And I would imagine he will incur a threat of the referee. I don't think there was anything intentional, but caught a weak chuck, Pat.
Yeah, it was just it was nearly slow motion. He kind of swung the whole way across, hoping to tap the ball off him, but it just looked a bit awkward. No malice at all in it. He has a yellow card got though, so the crowd reacted here in the stand as well. There was an ooh. Because I think the size of Patrick as well is, but he certainly isn't a dirty player, and that wasn't exactly right.
And Gerard Cahill gives that free out. Is Gerard Cahill out to Gerard Kelly, and there was a slight pull there from a Scariff player again, but the ball comes to Gerard Cahill, and he's robbed there by Keelan Hartigan. Kelly gets in. Patrick Crotty gets the rebound here on his own 65. Quick ball in. This is what they want for Scariff. In towards Ryan. Ryan blocks it down. O'Brien should tip this one over. In O'Brien. Oh, he's gone a great ball to Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan picks it up. Shot, goal! Patrick Ryan. Brilliant goal from Patrick Ryan. But ball was turned over out the field. But you think it would be Mark Rogers was going to be the cool man inside, but O'Brien doing absolutely brilliantly. But give the ball to Ryan. He was hooked the first time. He put it away at the second attempt. 1-6 to 1 point. Big gap accruing.
Absolutely.
Now, Pat.
But a cardinal error from Gerard Cahill going out with the ball, tipping it over two tall guys' heads. Nobody allows that nowadays, or if they do, they should be taken off. And ball was robbed in, and a very, very cool finish inside, in fairness. And
here comes Scariff again. That ball is turned over again. If Mark Rogers gets this, he's gone in on goals again. Rogers, great save, Corbett. Matthew Crotty. Oh, and Matthew on the rebound put it out to the right hand side and gone wide. And in fairness, give Corbett credit. That was a good save. He had to go down low to save that, because an experienced forward like Rogers, he went low. Corbett had to get down, made the save. Unfortunately for the rebound, the ball came a bit quick out to Crotty. He had to pull it first time and then went outside the post. Score remains 1-6 to 1 point as Corbett comes out. Goes long on this occasion. It's gone short. They haven't been successful. The ball goes out around the middle of the field. The ball is won by Gerard Hanrahan. But Michael Scanlon, the evergreen Michael Scanlon, hits the hand pass back to Sean Collins. Collins goes up along the line looking for Patrick Crotty. In fact, he just finds a selector there for Corofin out over the sideline. Line ball for Corofin. 13 and a half minutes gone. It's 1-6 for Scariff. 1 point for Corofin. They go with the short ball back to Gerard Cahill. And coming out here come is the fullback. The fullback is Damien O'Loughlin. Damien puts the ball out into space where Diarmuid Cahill, who has, good to see him recovering from injuries as well, gets out in front of Michael Scanlon, puts the ball back into James Organ. Organ trying to get away from Diarmuid Nash, puts a lovely low ball in, but that ball is picked out by Scott Cairns out to Keelan Hartigan. Hartigan gets the ball at the second touch, coming out. He goes to ground and he's pulled for overcarrying. He's been harried by Sinan Kirby. A free in for Corofin. Players getting to know one another about 30 metres out from the Scariff goal. But first direct ball up from Corofin, and it pays dividends again already.
Exactly, they just have to get that ball up. I know now Garrod Cahill, who I really admire as a player the last few years, he's playing so deep, but as well as that, then he's trying to carry ball as well and try nice things. I think they'd be better off with Cahill further up the field, because he distributes the ball into the forward so well, and maybe someone else could do that covering job back forward. When you have a creative player, you don't want him back in his own 20-metre line all the time, and maybe giving the ball away in that time.
There's that free from Keith Gerald Kelly, straight over the bar. 1 goal and 6 for Scariff, 2 points from Corofin, and you know it's going to be greasy out there now. William Kavanagh wiping and drying the hands, gets a good puck out with the aid of the breeze down towards Patrick Crotty. Keehan waiting for the break. Great catch there by Sean O'Brien. I like this fella. O'Brien burst through the tackle. Advantage accruing for Sean O'Brien. In fact, that's, you know, if you want a team to get a boost, that's a great catch and drive out from Sean O'Brien.
Correct, Leo. That's exactly what Corofin needs. Someone just to make a statement, get the ball, and then jump up and down afterwards and rise the team.
Quick free from Cahill out to Gerard Kelly, and Gerard Kelly splits the post. He's won 63 points, 2 scores in a row from Corofin. Maybe they're arresting their side, settling down into this game. That was great play by O'Brien, Cahill and Kelly. Quick score, 15.5 minutes gone. Scariff 1-6, Corofin 3 points. William Kavanagh surveying his options. Matthew Crotty makes a run. Patrick Ryan makes a run, and he goes down towards Rossi Keehan over there on the far side. Rossi gets out in front of Killy McGrory. McGrory gets back to Jude Blair. McGrory also very, very, as we said, Jude Blair, an excellent footballer as well. Gerard Cahill coming out, going long on this occasion, looking for the brother, gets the ball over the head of Shane Kavanagh. Diarmuid, well, the ball comes off his hurley. Sleepy conditions out over the line, and Diarmuid Cahill and Jared Donlan calling came to proceedings over there. Diarmuid Cahill coming in for a bit of attention. Line bar for Scariff. 75 metres from the Corofin goal. Kevin Army cuts a good one, lets us down on this occasion. The ball comes to Kelly, but it comes now to Diarmuid Cahill. He gives it into James Organ. James Organ taking on Scott Cairns and the wing back Sean Collins. Collins does well, recycles the ball away from Kelly. Collins playing well, gets the ball down, looking for Mark, but he's going to be picked out by Gerard Cahill, sitting back as the sweeper in front of Mark Rogers. Gets the ball out. Shane Kavanagh gets out in front of the wing forward James Organ. He's picked up by Ian O'Brien, works in deep. Here comes Matthew Crotty. Got 2 great goals the last take in Kimeli. Gets a lovely hand pass off to Keehan. Keehan goes to ground, ably assisted by Gerard Hanrahan. Back to Diarmuid Nash. Just plants the feet, gets a quick ball out to Ryan. Patrick Ryan goes up to the clouds, but he's beaten by Evan Doolan. And here comes Cahill. He's been on more ball than anyone for Corofin. Sprays the ball up into the corner, looking for the corner forward. Sinan Kirby. Kirby is beaten by the other cornerback, Owen Keehan. Back to Downs. Downs puts it into Rossi Keehan with a hand pass to Keelan Hartigan. And one of his trademark runs goes into the challenger, Killian McCrory. Gets the ball out back out to Matthew Crotty. Oh, lovely side step from Crotty. Sells a dummy to the fullback, O'Loughlin. Crotty, class score from Matthew Crotty. A lovely dummy there. Sold Damien O'Loughlin. He cut inside and from 40 metres put the ball over the bar. 1-7 to 3 points in favour of Scariff.
Yeah, you did tell us at the beginning of the year that he was class, Leo, and that maybe he should get more game time, and he's proven you absolutely right. That was a class score, and beautiful bit of footwork there to make the space and tap it over the bar.
That puck out from Liam Corbett goes out to Colin Fitzgerald. Back into Damien O'Loughlin. Damien just turns and drives it on this occasion. The ball comes out here to the centre forward. The centre forward is Micheál Duffy. Micheál being very quiet. O'Loughlin, the full back on one of his usual trademark runs, goes to ground. Does Damien just turns and shoots. Does it come inside the post? In fact, that's a real inspirational, real morale boosting score from the fullback Damien O'Loughlin. He's been under pressure And they have made a change. Cillian O'Connor is gone onto Mark Rogers, and Jamie Loughlin is out in the half back line. William Kavanagh with the puck out, looking for the same man. Mark Rogers, O'Connor and Rogers, of course, both have been on the were on the clear panel of the One Day Ireland final last year. Sean O'Brien with the puck on. I would imagine Joe Mullins coming over to meet Mark Rogers and Cillian O'Connor. It might have been a surprise. We may have expected Conor Lean maybe to start on Mark Rogers' pep, but since he's out injured and not available to start, maybe Cillian O'Connor was the man. They went with Damien O'Loughlin. They've now redeployed Cillian O'Connor. Strong man, good defender, and maybe is it freed up maybe Damien O'Loughlin to be out his better role at wing back.
Make his role, absolutely, and Cillian O'Connor is a good, strong physical unit, so he might be able to do a reasonable job on Mark. Look, there's nobody going to hold Mark Rogers for an hour, but if you can limit his damage, and maybe as Gerard Cahill and O'Loughlin getting forward a bit more because of that, might help Corofin's cause. They have a free now in the middle of the field.
Yeah, pushing the back on Diarmuid Cahill from the resultant sideline from Garrod came across, and Diarmuid was out in front. Michael Scanlon said, "Thou shalt not pass Diarmuid, you're not going any further on this occasion." And Diarmuid out taking a bit of heat out of the situation. It's 1 goal and 7 for Scariff, 4 points for Corofin. Scariff down with the 8, as we said, of whatever breeze is in the first half, and Corofin have recovered from the concession of that goal to Patrick Ryan. Here's this free from Gerard Kelly, normally a very, very prolific score taker. Liarna Parker, Kelly strikes it into the road in. Does it come inside? In fact, he had to force it. It goes out to the left hand side and gone wide. 20 minutes gone here in Dr Daly Park. Scariff 1 goal and 7. Corofin 4 points in the second of the senior relegation semi-finals. Whoever loses, this goes into the final again. St. Joseph's to see who will stay in the Premiership Intermediate. Cahill switches the play across towards Garrod Kelly. Kelly goes up to the clouds out in front of Conor Downs. Kelly puts the ball into space, looking for Sin and Kirby. Kirby and Keehan. Kirby is a good touch. Kirby goes down now to the ground. He goes down, keeps that ball in play. There's Kirby coming across, trying to get away from the tackle of Sean Collins, who's playing very well. The ball breaks out to Diarmuid Cahill. Cahill. Who's going to win it? Scott Cairns is there. Patrick Ryan coming out. He's a goal in the pint cup, but he's back now and he's on the fence. Gets the ball back to Diarmuid. Diarmuid recycles that ball out to William Kavanagh. William has space to run to, but William decides to go deliver. Direct route down on top of Mark Rogers and Cillian O'Connor. Gerard Cahill is down there and the ball evades them all. Goes into Rogers. Rogers has 3 Corofin defenders for company. Here comes Mark. Puts a lovely pop pass in, but no one making the run. The ball, Corbett advances from the goals for Corofin. Sprays that ball out. He's only going to find Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan, he's been chased by Kevin Keane. Kevin Keane, who had a great game against Crawford in the semi-final, the second group game at full forward, and a shot from Keehan and a wide from Keehan. And Scariff guilty of maybe some carelessness as Liam Corbett goes quick out to O'Loughlin. There is a bit of energy. Crotty does well, tries to get the ball out in front of Damien O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin goes to ground and a push on the back by Matthew Crotty, and Damien is sprawled out there. Taking the heat out of the situation. Ger Hype had in to defuse it. A free for Cillian O'Connor. Corofin coming back into this game, Pat.
Yeah, and Gerard Cahill is doing a lot of mopping up back there in defence, as we said. But Mark Rogers in a lovely ball into space there. Nobody had reacted. You could really see that he wasn't going to shoot for score. He was under pressure on the sideline, and maybe expected Patrick Crotty running through or somebody, but the ball was picked up and dealt with easily by the defence, and he went free now for
Gerard Cahill knocks the ball up here for Duffy. Duffy gets out, but he's beaten by Michael Scanlon. Scanlon, what a servant many a time we said for Scariff. Goes very tight to the sideline. Kept the ball. What a jostle there. And Gerhai, I think Gerard Kelly maybe was just over the line, but Michael Scanlon, experience, using all his experience, just about to keep himself in the field of play. Line ball coming for Conor Down, 40 metres out from the Scariff goal. It's Scariff 1-7. Corofin 4 points. 22 minutes gone here, 22 and a half minutes. Ball down, looking for Ian O'Brien. Ian O'Brien has good hands, gets out in front of Evan Doolan. O'Brien goes down to ground, just loses the ball to Sean O'Brien. O'Brien's first instinct is to take the tackle. He's gone through, he's already caught it twice. Gets that ball to Diarmuid Cahill. Cahill being chased there all over the place by Scott Kearns, and he gives that ball back to the midfield, Hanrahan. Oh, and a follow through from Scott Kearns on that, and you know, once you get a blow to the head, there will always be a concern, and the safety of Gerard Hanrahan is paramount on this occasion.
Yeah, I think Kearns kind of a bit of momentum up. I don't know if he really intended it, but he obviously wanted to stop him. But look at that's concern. I don't think it's too bad. I see Damien Loughlin there checking it out. He's walking away as if it isn't too bad yet. he's getting up again, but rightly so. The game is stopped. The helmet is off anyway, so yeah, he has to stop it. But no harm giving him a bit of time. But the Corofin have improved, Leo. Whether the improvement is enough to help them close the gap before half time, 23 minutes gone. If they had this game maybe within 3 to 4 points at half time, you'd give them every chance at the second half with that bit of a breeze. But at the moment, they're not scoring with any regularity. 4 points in 23 minutes is not enough.
Yeah, and as we expected, Scott picks up the yellow card. So look at he's following Diarmuid Cahill, and not the best thing to be having on your radar when you're marking a player like Cahill. That ball from Garrod, and that shows the strength of the breeze. Brilliantly blocked down there by Cairns, and the ball comes out to the James Organ. Organ being chased by 4 Scariff players, cutting over across the far side in front of the scoreboard end here. And who comes out? Sean Collins. Oh, and I said Scanlon had to do well there to get in front of Sin and Kirby. It was kind of not the best pass. The ball out to Keelan Hartigan. Scariff are going to try and work it out. Hartigan gets the ball out to Conor Downs, and a flick pass from Conor Downs, a party piece. The ball across towards O'Brien. Ian O'Brien, Gerard Cahill is going to block, and he blocks it out in front of Mark Rogers. In fairness, he's doing very well. That's the scuba door back there. Push the ball up into the corner, looking for the run of Kelly. But who comes across is Sean Collins. Collins having a great game for Scariff. Gets the ball out to Rasta Keehan. Keehan pushed his ball back, and Mark is caught out this side out here. So Damien O'Loughlin coming out for Corofin. Damien taking the time to take. He's caught twice. He can't catch it again. Puts the ball across to Evan Doolan. Doolan puts Doolan under pressure. Going to be chased now by Keehan. Doolan is a cool man, but he needs to help Cahill, and Cahill with a lovely pick up gets the ball into McRory. McRory will go to the middle into Sean O'Brien. Cahill is gone on the run. Here comes Gerard Cahill. This is Corofin at their best, but the finish doesn't match the set-up play. But that's cool play from Corofin, but the shot from Gerard Cahill went out to the left and gone wide, and Gerard has picked up an injury and is now way out from his scuba the roll. Killy McRory gone back to take up the position in front of Mark Rogers. William Kavanagh with that puck out, and who comes? Ollie Cahill. He's like a magnet with the ball today. Patrick Ryan goes to the ground. The ball comes. Diarmuid Cahill is fouled by Conor Down. Diarmuid Cahill working deep, coming on the lot of ball, Pat.
Yeah, he's come out the field now, and I mean he has such good control and sort of awareness of what he's doing. He will win a lot of ball. The problem is then inside, is there enough firepower inside? I think Kevin Keane in there hasn't really got on the ball yet. Organ maybe not getting enough, a real attacking bite going either. But I suppose maybe it's a holding job against the breeze for Corofin. They look at it 7-4 isn't terrible, and the breeze is considerable enough now.
Yeah, and a free just outside his own 6'5", 60 and the 70 metres outside his own Corofin goal. It's a free. Fergal Road Kelly 20 metres in from the sideline here in front of the stand. Kelly strikes this one, but I think that one has gone to the left.
Same way.
That's the same place as the last one. That shows the sense of the breeze, having the force on Pat, and William Kavanagh. Now there's a bit of urgency coming from Scariff. It's 1 goal and 7 for Scariff, 4 points for Corofin. Tight game here. That goal from Patrick Ryan, maybe the major difference between them. That ball, Conor Jones with a kind of a flick there towards Canrahan, but Shane Kavanagh done well. Recover that ball out to Patrick. Is Patrick Crotty push the ball in for Hartigan. Does a run on for Hartigan. Hartigan gets away from Gerard Kelly. Hartigan gains ground, goes to ground, and the ball comes back out to Metro. Metro's 1 point got. Metro with a lovely head pass. He's Patrick. He's done his job. He's going for the green one. Patrick Crotty gets the shot. Brilliantly saved by O'Connor, and McCrory puts it out for a 65 for a brilliant save. From Keelan O'Connor there inside, from the shot of Patrick Crotty. Lovely flick from quick hands from Matthew out to Patrick, who is maybe being a bit quieter by his this year, by his own normal form. Win for broke before half time here. 27 minutes gone, but it's the Sheskakooig, and Mark Rogers out to take the Sheskakooig, Pat.
I think that's a vital save inside by the keeper for Corofin in terms of this game, because as if that was buried Patrick, he did very, very well now, in fairness. If that goes in, I think you could nearly say possibly game over even at this stage, but he's kept a minute. 65 obviously will Scariff's scoring rate has dropped in the last 10 or 12 minutes, Leo, so this point will be required, I think, by Scariff mentors and supporters to just keep the thing moving.
And Mark just nonchalantly, like Mark Ross puts it over the bar. That's his 5th point. Scariff 1 goal and 8. Corofin 4 points. What's going to be the Corofin response? You may be right, Pat. They seem to be very much in and just holding the score down as low as they can into that breeze, and it's 1-8 to 4 points. Corbett goes short across out here for Corofin. Corofin walking the ball. They will go back to Cahill. It's Gerard Cahill who gets it back from Colin Fitz. Puts the ball up and stop instead of on top of the midfielder, Gerard Hanrahan. The ball comes to Downs, goes to ground, ably assisted by Kevin Keane. Kevin was quiet, he makes an intervention there, not the one that maybe Corofin wanted, but I would imagine that Kevin will probably park himself into Canoe for the second half, and hopefully that high ball will come in and top of him. But it's a free just inside his own 65-metre line, right out on the sideline at the right side here in Dr Daly Park. And Shane Kavanagh, not beyond, he's outside his compass. He could get this one. Normally a good strike of the ball, but of course the heavy ball making a bit of a difference as, you know, shots have dropping that bit shorter. Here comes Shane. Scariff will be hoping he'll get another score. He's dropping dangerous. Can they get a flick to this one? That ball is blocked down and it goes out, and Liam Corbett releases that when he had to keep it in play. His pass goes astray out in front of Damien O'Loughlin. Mark Rogers gets in quick. Mark shooting from out on the far side of the field. Mark Rogers, brilliant score from Rogers. 1 goal and 94 points. Corbett had the chance to clear the ball, overhit the pass, and Rogers he made him pay the price.
Yeah, when you hit the ball ahead of a guy running like at that, it's favouring the guy coming towards it, who was Mark Rogers, and from an angle, an absolutely stunning point from Rogers.
And he's a chance of another one now because Colin Fitzgerald has overcarried the ball coming out for the second time from that sharp puck out from Liam Corbett, and Scariff, you know, maybe but a bit nervous there for a while. They're now getting a chance to go a bit further ahead. Mark gone out here 40 metres out from the Corofin goal, 10 metres in from the sideline, once again on the far side, away from our stand side here. And the way Mark is shooting, you would expect Mark to put this Heron Drosnan on O'Maurice. And here comes Mark. Lovely nonchalant strike, doesn't force it, just nice and nonchalant, puts it over the bar, makes that 1 goal and 10 to 4 points, and that deed stretches out again, Pat.
Yeah, but Corofin, the architects of their own downfall there twice. A bad short puck out and a bad clearance, and Liam Corbett has made 2 very good saves, but you just have to secure the ball in those situations. And look, if you're in doubt, go along. At least the damage is way up the field and you have a chance to reset. But two presence of points there for Mark Rogers. Yeah,
puck out from Liam Corbett was blocked down by Gerard Kelly Black towards his own goals, and went out over the sideline. Line ball for Rossa Keehan for Scariff. Patrick Crotty goes into space. That's a lovely ball from Keehan. Can Crotty get there? But Gerard Cahill, in fairness, reading the situation quite well, will give it out to the impressive Sean O'Brien. O'Brien has to secure possession, which he does quite well. Gets away from the tackle of Sean Collins, and here he comes on the run again, and the ball is out to James McCall from James Organ. Corofin could do a score, and Cahill delivers the score over the bar. 1 goal and 10. The 5 points. Damon had been on another ball, not close to goal, but a good score, worked it well, good play, well started by Sean O'Brien and William Kavanagh. We're going into added time here in the first half here in Dr Daly Park. William Kavanagh goes down the middle, and with that we have let home here in Dr Daly Park, Dr O'Doyle, and a scoreline of Scariff 1 goal and 10. It's Corofin 5 points, Pat.
Yeah, and I suppose so we have 2 men really of Mark Rogers really just doing the business of Scariff, getting the frees and the points from play. And for Corofin, the story is, I suppose, Gerard Cahill dictating from his scuba door role there in front of the full back line. He's been on oceans of ball, and that's really the story of the first half, Leo. The breeze helping Scariff, that'll be easier for them to score. Corofin just not getting enough ball into the full forward line, and the running game has worked for them 2 or 3 times. Lovely point there from Liam Cahill. But overall, Corofin have it all to do. The breeze isn't going to do it for them alone. They'll nearly have to come out with a bit more fire and brimstone. But if they do, Leo, the game is still there. 110 to 5 points isn't outrageously bad when you have a good breeze behind you. But at the moment, Scariff would be favourites to keep out of that final game that they don't want to be in. In a couple of weeks' time. And
Scariff going well here in Dr Daly Park, and I tell you one thing, our match sponsor Bane, up there in the main street, we thank her for her sponsorship. She'd be delighted to pay Scariff for going, and no doubt she'll get 1 or 2 reports in the shop tomorrow. And with that, we're going to take our half-time break. It's Scariff 1 goal and 10. It's Corofin 5 points. And you're all very welcome back here to Dr Daly Park in Tulla for the second half of this senior hurling relegation semi-final between Corofin and Scariff. Conditions have improved, the rain has dissipated. For now, the breeze may be blown up a small bit more in favour of Corofin, who are playing down to the Mymore end in the second half. At half time, it's Scariff in the ascendancy, 110 to 5 points. Pat, your thoughts as both teams take the field for the second half?
Yeah, well, Scariff have been comfortable enough up to now, but Corofin simply have to get into the game now. It's reported to us there at half time that the wind is stronger down the pitch than we even thought it was. So it may be a big factor in Corofin not being able to get good ball into their forwards or attacks going really. So and maybe trying to play a lot of short ball around the half back line. So maybe now that could be a factor, and if they can drive ball in and the lads inside, like Derek Cahill, get good ball in, who knows?
Yeah, and there's
Conor Lean has arrived in.
Yeah, major change on the Corofin team, and
full forward.
Conor Lean has gone in. The versatile player that he's gone in full forward, taking on Michael Scanlon and Patrick Crotty. He's gone to full forward. Mark is in the half forward line. I see Damien Loughlin gone back. Killian O'Connor is going to follow Mark Rogers wherever he goes. It's 1-10 to 5 points. The second half is on here in Dr. Daly Park and Conor Downs. Conor Downs, it's a quick ball into Patrick Crotty. Gets out in front of O'Loughlin. But Gerard Cahill continuing his role as the sweeper. Keelan Hartigan trying to get out. McRory gets it out. Cahill is coming out. He's having a great game at the heart of that Corofin defence. While we're on air, we must say hello to Fergus Madden, the former Scariff senior player, and his girlfriend Eva Quigley. Listen to us out there in Australia. And a ball in on top of Conor Lean. Lean has it. Yeah. And Scanlon is battling hard down there. The ball breaks, and who's coming out with it? It's Scott Cairns, the cornerback. Scanlon done well, maybe got away with a slight push. Lean was trying to catch the ball. Peter Duggan, like in the opposite hand, he wasn't far from away from it as Diarmuid Nash hits a quick free out to Rossigehan, but Joe Mullins, the referee, calls it back. It's going to be an interesting battle, Pat.
Absolutely, and they're going straight in for Lean, and it almost stuck. It was in the palm of his hand for half a second and just slipped out with plenty of pressure from Scanlon, in fairness, and Cairns did very well to come out of the rock then and win the free.
Yeah, 1-10 to 5 points, the same score as we have it at half time. William Kavanagh, 21 metres out from his own goals. Normally a good strike for a ball, hits it across, looking for Crotty on the far side. Keehan goes up and blocks it down to Hartigan. Hartigan is normally a good for a score or two. Goes to ground, his hand pass is blocked by Gerard Cahill. Cahill, there's no playing around with it this after. He's gone down direct down the top of Cairns. Sinan Kirby gets the ball away, and here's Lean. He's being pulled rugby style by Michael Scanlon, and Conor Lean signals his introduction at a point over the bar. Good point from Conor Lean. Is there any further retribution from Michael Scanlon?
There's
a tick into lower.
That's an underrated score from Lean. I mean, he had fierce physical pressure, fell pressure, and got up and put a brilliant ball over the bar. And
that ball is pucked out by William Kavanagh. It's broken down by Kevin Keane. Kevin Keane to Diarmuid. It's Diarmuid Cahill, the wizard, who goes through like a needle, gives it to Keane. Keane gets the ball here, and it's out to Organ. Organ gets away from Diarmuid Nash, and he's being pulled back. And I tell you one thing, Pat McNamara, whatever Liam O'Donoghue, the former Galway goalkeeper and captain, has said to his charges at half time, I tell you, he's got the desired response, because that's a great attack and play from Corofin.
Absolutely, and it looks like Corofin maybe did try to absorb as much punishment as they could in the first half and just keep the score down without trying to do too much themselves and opening things up. And it might be paying off now. Looks like they could bring it back to 1-10 to 6. 1-10 to 6 currently. This should be 1-10 to 7. Hit low, but it's just made it over the bar.
Yeah, Gerard Kelly with that free from 30 metres. It's 1-10 to 1-10 to 7. He's back to manageable proportions, and Donal Moloney and his management team will be looking for a response from Scariff. They're in deep discussion over there. Conor Mackin and Donal Moloney. William Kavanagh, where's he going to go on this one? Keelan Hartigan makes the run, but he gets the ball out to Owen Keehan. Keehan, the cornerback, goes up along the far side. Down to his brother Rosser, gets it over, hits it, comes to Patrick Crotty. Patrick with a lovely crossfield ball for Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan and the cornerback, that's Mark O'Loughlin, who's on maybe instead of Colin Fitzgerald. O'Loughlin, he will bring tremendous experience here for Corofin. Corofin have a much stronger outfit on now than what they had at the start, Pat.
Yeah, they know where Mark O'Loughlin was. The way he attacked that ball and caught it was outstanding. Didn't seem to be any sign of injury. A great cornerback play.
The ball goes down on top of Lean. He's causing consternation. Keane trying to get to space. Is there anyone running for him? It's Kelly. Normally a good striker, gets the ball into Keane. Keane is normally good for a goal or two. Tries to take on. Overhit, gets an overhand pass. Back out to Kelly. Corofin going in the wrong direction, but here's a man that's going to go in the right direction. It's Diarmuid Cahill, but he's brilliantly robbed by Keelan Hartigan. And his ball is into Matthew Crotty. Matthew Crotty is being fouled there by Sean O'Brien. Cartawee egg chocked, Pat.
Yeah, Cap. Mayak, all right. Yeah, he's down, and it was a hard tackle by O'Brien, who, as you said, having a good game. Also impressed in the first half there too by Sean Collins. His best game I've seen play for Scariff so far. So it's good to see fellas maybe that we're not always naming the same players as being the top men on their team. But yeah, this is the chance now for Scariff to just undo the harm of conceding 2 points early on in the second half.
Yeah, and concern as the medics are in checking on Matthew Crotty, but Joe Mullins, you know, signals for the boys to go back out to the sidelines. Metro is Kerkalora and Machine and a free 60 metres out from the Corofin goal. No one else other than Mark Rogers, better man to take this one. Can he punish that indiscretion by Sean O'Brien? He gains a few yards at the same time. Is now 60 metres, 55 metres out from the Corofin goal and add another 2 less off that again. So 53. Mark Rogers directly in the centre of the pitch. Here he comes now with his free. Can he put Scariff 7 points ahead again with this free? Taking his time to compose himself. 5 minutes gone here in the second half. Rogers delivers and Rogers strikes and Rogers scores over the bar again. It's 1 goal and 11 for Scariff, 7 points for Corofin. We'll see now what the Corofin response. Are they going to go sharp to the puck out instead? Corbett goes long, drills it low, looking for McGrory. McGrory is robbed by Keehan, Rossi Keehan. He's having a very good game at wing forward for Scariff. Gets the ball out to Hartigan. Hartigan careering through the centre of the defence. Tries to put the ball over the hit. Not the thing to be doing when you have a player like Damien O'Loughlin around. Damien O'Loughlin gives it to Kelly. Kelly is going long into the full forward and Duffy goes up, blocks the ball down, or Jim McCall blocks it down. Jessin and Kirby. Scott Cairns trying to get it. Michael Scanlon trying to get it. Kirby goes to ground. Not too sure what the free was there. I think in fairness that's maybe a hard one and Kirby.
Michael Scanlon, maybe.
He protested him, but Scanlon was close. He was going to ground, and what a player Michael Scanlon has been, and really turning back the clock again this year with unbelievable performances. Pat is Willie Kavanagh is going to take a quick free and instead decides to take his time to steady things down.
Just an admirable player. Every team needs leaders like that for the younger lads to look up to. By God, does Michael Scanlon give some example to fellas how to represent your club on and off the pitch. And
Kavanagh goes direct down the middle looking for Ryan. Ryan goes up to the clouds, blocks it on one hand. But O'Loughlin has had a real good game for Corofin back there. Gets the ball back to Doolan going back towards his own goals, gets the ball out to Kane. Kane gets away there, but it's Shane Kavanagh. Shane gets away from the tackle. Can he give it to Patrick Ryan? Overhits the ball out over the head towards Ian O'Brien. Space was at a premium there for Shane Kavanagh, and Shane puts his hand pass out over the line. Still,
Scariff not lacking a bit of precision. Scariff, Leo, in fairness, you know, those passes been overhit and going astray a bit, and fellas just maybe taking wrong options. I think Scariff would better off to go a little bit more direct as well. Once the free man has the ball in his hand, you have Rogers above, let it up to him.
A couple of players, Joe, having a little word there with Gerard Kelly and Keelan Hartigan just to calm things down. The pressure of relegation situation maybe coming to bear here. And here's the line ball by Gerard Cahill. Cuts it, not the best one. Gets it into Patrick. Patrick lets it go, but O'Loughlin or Sean O'Brien gets it. O'Brien, who's on a yellow card. Matthew Crotty there, but Patrick does well, wins the ball. Gets it at hand passing style out to Keelan. Keelan's a chance to go. Here's Keelan Hartigan going in towards goal. Hartigan. Brilliant defending play there by the fullback Damien O'Loughlin. Was there a coming across? Keelan is down 6.5 does the other. He did. There's no doubt he got a slight touch.
He did. He got a little bit of a hefty one, but at least he hasn't thrown off the helmet. He's just getting up and on with it now.
Hartigan is an honest player as they come. Good puck out from Corbett down on top of Shane Kavanagh and Kevin Keane, and Kavanagh comes out and he's being picked up by Mark working back in his own half back line. Patrick Ryan just turns and shoots, and Patrick Ryan, that's a tremendous score from Patrick Ryan. If it is his man, doesn't think about things, he does things on instinct, he does them quite well. 1-12 to 7 points. That puck out from Corbett down the top of Kavanagh. Kavanagh goes up with the left hand and the ball who's always there, but hand pass it. Downs, who's an All-Ireland handball champion. Oh, what a flick from Patrick Ryan. Hartigan is inside him, but he gives it to Mark. Mark flicks it to Matthew Crotty. Matthew can put it over the bar, but they're going for broke. Here comes Crotty. Is he going to put it? He's gone. Puts the hand pass into Ian O'Brien. O'Brien comes back outside. O'Brien doesn't come inside. It does come inside from the stick of Ian O'Brien. Unselfish play there from Matthew Crotty. 113 to 7 points. Scariff putting on the afterburners again, Pat.
Yeah, and one of the players I always like watching, Conor Dow's coming more and more into the game for Scariff in the middle of the field, and he was at the root of that move and a lovely finish.
A great puck out from Corbett. Found Gerard Kelly. Gets away from the challenge of Conor Downs. Gets it to O'Brien. O'Brien loses it. O'Brien gets a kind of an unusual hand pass there. I thought he'd turn it. Joe Mullins very close to the situation. Mark Rogers on the situation at the moment. 55 metres out from his own goals. You would expect him to take this one down to the road goal. 9 minutes gone here in the second half, and Scariff, you know, they have a bit of a nice lead there, had good comfort, had good buffer zone. Instead, he leaves it to Shane Kavanagh. Shane Kavanagh, where will he go towards this left-hand post here as the breeze seems to be dragging the ball across. Here comes Kavanagh. He strikes it well. Is it coming inside from Kavanagh? Corbett, that's a great catch on the Corofin keeper, and he's blocked on by Patrick Crotty. But O'Loughlin gets away from the challenge of Ian O'Brien. In fairness, if all the Corofin players had the enthusiasm and energy of O'Loughlin, they'd go a long way. McGrory with a low ball looking for Kirby. The Kirby's for Belly done the business in Cusack Park yesterday even. Sending Kirby trying to do the business for Corofin here, but it's Owen Keehan. Keehan is blocked on by Diarmuid Cahill. Diarmuid Cahill gets the ball out to Lean. Lean has 1 point got. Lean has a shot, but that one has gone out to the right hand side and gone by shooting and instinct. Maybe he knows a lot more about stopping that from scoring, but he had quite a good attempt there. 113 to 7 points in favour of Scariff. William Kavanagh with the puck out. This is the senior relegation semi-final here live on Clare JTV. The puck out for William Kavanagh goes out the far side. Rogers and O'Connor go up there. Rogers gets away and that ball comes off the stick of the hand of Mark Rogers out of the line. In fairness, I suppose it's safety. O'Connor has stuck well to his task, Pat.
He has indeed. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Leo. But that gap of 9 points is just, it's just too much for Corofin at the moment. Started off well just after half time, but they have to consolidate that now. Not by giving the ball straight to Diarmuid Nash. They won't improve things.
Diarmuid Nash gives it out to Hartigan. Hartigan crossfield ball across to Patrick Crotty. And he's been double up there with O'Loughlin and McGrory. Here's Patrick Crotty acknowledged. McGrory pulls across, gives away the free. Advantage playing. Great play from Crotty. The ball comes across to Matthew and the Corbett advanced, let the ball pass him. But I think Matcher was being pulled back there by Evan Doolan, but the free was accruing for Scariff, and expect Mark, who's launchly making his way across. 11 minutes gone. Scariff 1 goal and 13. Corofin 7 points. The loser to play St. Joseph's Dura Bearfield in a couple of weeks' time in the relegation final. Corofin, or St. Joseph, who lost by 1 point to the Blues of Newmarket yesterday, and great relief around the village of Newmarket last night that they've secured their senior status for another year. Scariff looking well on the way to securing their senior status for another year, and Mark Rogers expected to put another nail in the Corofin coffin here. It's 113 to 7 points. Make that 114 to 7 points from the stick of Mark Rogers. 12 minutes gone in the second half, and the game kind of petering out. Maybe Patchers is inevitable conclusion.
And Corofin's comeback was short-lived there after half-time. It looks like they got a bit rudderless again. Not enough ball going into Lean, and Scariff kind of dominating around the middle as well. The likes of Downs, as I said, Hartigan, Metro Crotty is well in the game there as well, and of course Mark Rogers is out now around as well directing operations, so they're just not getting enough ball into the hand in an area where they can be punished. Scariff. Yeah,
and that puck out from Liam Corbett went down towards James Organ. He was pushed in the back by a very impressive Sean Collins, and a free for the same player, it is Gerard Kelly, 60 metres from the Scariff goals. If Corofin ever needed a score, they need one now. Here's Kelly into the Mymore end. Strike, this is dropping dangerously. William Kavanagh puts up the hand and lets it slip, but Corofin not alive to the break, but who was there? Only Diarmuid Nash. Diarmuid using experience. Kirby, and he's coming to Owen Keehan. Keehan's are playing well for Scariff today. That's with strong back connections, Pat, as you well know, up around your neck of the woods. The ball comes out to James Organ. James Organ tied to the line, and he's gone out over the line, blocked over by Keelan Hartigan. Maybe a more left forward there would have been a lively situation, but the Scariff backs regroup quickly. Now it's a wet ball, and you can excuse the keeper for dropping another one, but they weren't a lively situation. A line ball for Gurukad, Pat.
When you're in desperate need of scores, you want to be alert to every single little half chance that might drop your way and try and take advantage, but unfortunately there was nobody in on top of Liam in the top of William Kavanagh there. He had an extra second or two to recover.
Line ball in from Gerard Cahill into Conor Lean. Keane is pushed off the ball there by Michael Scanlon, and it's Sean Collins, and Sean took 1 or 2 steps too many on this occasion, didn't get away from the challenge of Lean. In fairness to Lean, he's working hard since he's in Pat, and what's Gerard Kelly going to do here? Is he going to take a point, or is he going to go on blasting operations? We're halfway through the second half. 14 minutes gone here in the second half here in Dr Daly Park. Scariff 1 goal and 14. Corofin 7 points. Michal Duffy departing the scene here for Corofin, and it's number 21. It's Shane O'Brien coming in for Corofin, and a good hurler is O'Brien. I would expect Kelly from this angle maybe to just tap it over the bar and see can he get the momentum swinging in the right direction for Corofin. Taking his time to compose himself. There'll be 14. It's just gone over 40 minutes in the second half. Kelly strikes it over the bar. Gerard Kelly, that's his 5th point of the game. 1 goal and 14 to 8 points in favour of Scariff. And Scariff, Pat, to be quite honest, don't look unduly troubled by the challenge at the moment.
No, and again, the game, it just hasn't really taken off. I suppose if it was closer, maybe that cushion is there for Scariff. They're not extending themselves too much themselves, but they don't really have to. And there's a handy free for Corofin from their own half-back line there.
Yeah, I think it's Sean.
Holding his end, is it?
You know what? I'm not too sure. Sean Collins is the guilty.
Didn't look to be much happening there.
Or is Keelan Hartigan in this occasion who's the guilty party? And not too sure myself. With there's a pole in front of us, so not too sure what happened there. But Joe Mullins is bringing it up an extra 10 yards for a bit of descent. So Gerard Kelly has another chance to put another little dangerous ball in on top around the Scariff goal mouth, and Lean he's staying much closer to the goals on this occasion, as is Shane O'Brien. We're right in Lorna Park. Gerard Kelly on puck Sarah Hogal or an shin. And the hurley, Kelly drives it. Good, more Dirac. August go hard and dress now. Good score from Kelly. 114 to 9 points. Maybe we're right enough Corofin at our peril, Pat.
Yeah, look at there's still a good gap there, but they still have to rise it. They need a bit more energy. They need a couple of lads in the half-back line to start bursting out a ball, maybe winning frees and just lifting the crowd here in the stand as well. Maybe Gerard Cahill is the man to start that, maybe. And
here he goes, and he goes direct run, gives it out to the brother.
Wrong.
The brother is brilliantly robbed by Keelan Hartigan, who concentrated and stayed on time. Lovely low ball into Ian O'Brien and Evan Doolan. O'Brien wins the ball at the second time. O'Brien does excellently. Can he get a ball? He recycles the ball out brilliantly for Patrick Crotty. Patrick tied to the black side there on the 21. Puts a lovely crossfield ball to Patrick Ryan. Ryan has a chance, but a brilliant flick away by Mark O'Loughlin. And it comes to Mark. Here comes Mark, kick Johnny Stock. Killian O'Connor pulls him back. But what a flick away by Mark O'Loughlin. You'd wonder which way O'Loughlin has played, why he didn't start the game. But Rogers came through on the loop. He was being pulled back by Killian O'Connor. O'Connor protesting his innocence, but it's going to be a 30-metre free in for Scariff.
Well, the way that Mark O'Loughlin is moving that pace to the ball, Leo, and playing, you imagine maybe he was late arriving, because if he was there at the beginning of the game, surely he'd have started. But obviously they had the reasons. But soft enough free in there for Mark. So again, every time Corofin get a couple of points, it looks like they might start something in the line of a serious comeback. Mark Rogers gets a chance to tap one over from a free or whatever, and it kills the momentum again for Corofin.
And with a plumb, he puts it straight over the bar. It's going to be Scariff 1 goal and 15. Corofin 9 points, and Liam Corbett. And maybe Corofin are probably looking to the final relegation final already, where they were successful last year. That puck out goes down on top of Kevin Keane. Keane doesn't come down with it on this occasion. Lean has it. Lean now out round centre forward. Gets the ball out to James Organ. Organ taking on Sean Collins. Organ shoots off his left over the bar. 115 in points. There's no doubt, Pat, if they get a chance, they're capable of taking scores.
They are, and James Organ is the man you'd expect to be leading this now as well. A very good run race player, of course, with Clare, big strong man as well. So got a bit of experience at the county level, which is always good for a player to help him lead his club. So I'll be expecting Organ maybe to play a bigger role now as we go on. Three Corofin men, but they have it in here.
Yeah, Williams poke out goes astray on that occasion. Dear McCall, as I said, well caught by Collins. Collins on his Hartigan gets the ball out to Conor Downs, his midfield partner. It was Sean Collins who won it. In fairness, Collins is having a very good game. The ball comes out to Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan gets it. McCrory has it, and Mark there's no doubt he could pick it up without the hurley, which he does, and gets the ball into Patrick Crotty. Crotty going to shoot. Brilliant defence by Corofin and Killian McCrory. The ball who's coming out is is a cornerback. Mark O'Loughlin. A high pull there by Rossi Keehan on Killian O'Connor. No free croon. The ball comes out to Matthew Crotty gives it out to Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan going in the wrong direction. Mark hurley back in hand, and ball. Usual result. Goharan Dressnon 116 to 10 points.
But Leo, the point was a nice one, but what he did 30 seconds before that, lost his early, 2 feet up into the hand, and a magnificent hand pass across to Crotty. Should have been a goal, one of the goals of the year if it was.
Yeah, and Mark Rogers, I tell you one thing, there'll be football teams looking at him after this one. The ball out to Patrick Crotty, won by Matthew Crotty, out to Patrick Ryan. Patrick Ryan puts it across. Patrick puts up the hand, and he's a clear run in, but O'Loughlin comes out of nowhere, and this fella has been impressive as well. It's Evan Doolan. Doolan gives it out to Gerard Kelly. Gerard Cahill on the outside, dropping the ball in on top of Lean and Scanlon. Lean has it. Scanlon does absolutely, and William Cabinet drops the ball. Here's Lean. Lean gets it. He gets it up. coming across out, gets the ball back out to Shane O'Brien. Shane O'Brien for Corofin, gets it out to Organ. Organ just splits the post, 116 to 11, and that greasy ball causing a few problems for William Kavanagh, but.
Absolutely.
Michael Scanlon once again. That's a great tremendous battle in there.
Himself
and Lean.
I think Lean might have been slightly entitled to a free there. More than slightly, and I think the Corofin crowd here thought so too. But look, refs have to make decisions, and he made. But look, they got a point out of it anyway.
Yeah, it's 116 to 11 points. A puck out from William, blocked on by Keelan O'Connor. Keelan Hartigan. Hartigan gets the ball in. Lovely ball in to Keehan. Keehan's first instinct to run away from McCrory. Could be pulled for overcarrying, but he plays a bit of handball. He gets the ball out to Downs. Downs gives it out. Matthew should score here. Matthew turns in on his right side, goes into traffic, into a couple of Corofin players. You don't do that with McCrory around, and he loses that ball out to Garrod Kelly. Kelly has worked hard in fairness for Corofin. That pop pass out to Garrod, who's now in a more forward position. He gets the ball out to the and a foul hand pass by Garrod, and you can see Garrod puts the hands up to his head. He was giving it to the Drahar Diarmid, both sons of Joe, who was manager of Corofin when they won the Intermediate Championship 2 years ago. He was manager last year, kept him up in the Senior Championship, and they've decided to depart the scene this year and left the job to Liam Donoghue, the man from Clarnbridge. They're going well. Also in the Galway Championship, Corofin maybe not going as well in the Clare Championship for Liam point of view, but they're still not out of their Senior Championship status as of yet. 51 minutes gone. It's 116 for Scariff, 11 points for Corofin. Mark from the 70 metres out. Mark does what Mark does, puts a Gaharan dress on. 117 to 11 points. And a puck coming out from Liam Corbett. Goes long, looking for Organ. Organ is blocked away by Sean Collins. Lean has made a real tremendous contribution to Corofin since he came on. That ball out to Scanlon. Scanlon out to Mark Rogers. Out to Keelan Hartigan. Hartigan going through the middle. Gets the ball out to Ian O'Brien. Is Ian O'Brien going to shoot from 50 metres? That's Ian O'Brien's third score of the game. Good score from Ian O'Brien. 1-18 now for Scariff, 11 points. And really, this, as we said it maybe earlier, Corofin may be looking at that relegation final against St. Joseph this stage. Keane goes up, comes down with it. He gets a chance after Garrod. Here's Garrod getting away from Keelan down. There's players on. And I think that signals Corofin's intention. He taps it over the bar. 1 goal in 18 to 12 points. It looks like Scariff will be playing senior hurling again, and to great relief of the Scariff management, players and supporters. Corofin have another day out to final, as we said, that no one wants to be in. They'll be playing St. Joseph's, which promises to be a battle royale. But look, we're not going to train the towel here yet. There's 8 minutes left. It's 118 for Scariff, 12 for Corofin. William Kavanagh goes over towards the right side, down on top of Keehan. McCrory has been quiet but very, very effective. Here comes Garrod Kelly, and another bomb in a stop of Lean. Lean comes out. Kavanagh comes out. The ball bypasses him. Keehan goes to ground. But he comes out, and Keehan does well, and the ball comes to Sin and Kirby. Keehan does even better. David Nash back there. James Organ trying to get hit. Nash having one of his best games of the year. Out the ball, out to Shane O'Brien. Shane O'Brien, this is going to come in. Should be William Kavanagh. Takes his time. And again, no pressure whatsoever from the Corofin forwards on William. He delivers a great ball out to Hartigan. Hartigan puts the ball up towards Ian O'Brien. O'Brien is the out ball, but he's beaten on this occasion by Mark O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin, he's pulled back by O'Brien. And I suppose if there's ever a good free to give away, Pat, it's back in your way, 100 yards from your own goal.
To slow down the momentum. That Mark O'Loughlin is very, very impressive as he came in. I know we're repeating ourselves, but he just looks like a really, really tigerish quarterback. But it's going to be very hard. There's 53 minutes gone. Corofin not really look threatening the goal. You want a couple of goals to close the gap now at this stage and make a really, really battle of it. But unless Conor Lean can get something going in there, the passes outside of the half-hour line aren't just going to hand, and they're not breaking the line. So Scariff comfortable enough, I think, Leo. Yeah,
and the yellow car for Ian O'Brien. Ben Sweeney, a very impressive underage player coming on for Scariff, taking the place of Conor Downs, and Ben taking up a midfield position. And look, nice to see him back. We'll be interested to see how he has progressed, Pat.
Absolutely, yeah, because
that ball
player. A lot of sort of, in fairness.
The ball goes down. Michael Scanlon gets it up at the second attempt. Gets the ball out to Sweeney. Sweeney goes up to the air and makes an early contribution. Gets the ball, comes down with it at the second attempt. Gets away, hand passes the ball back. Gets it back to Shane Kavanagh. Shane is beaten, but O'Brien gives it to Ian McCahill. Here's Cahill, Dulles Stock. He's been But again, it's Mark Rogers who does his defensive duties as well. Sweeney swings it on two hands, gets the ball out to Sinan Kirby. The ball out to Matthew Crotty, out to Kevin Keane. Keane working hard down towards the corner here. We're in the very, very corner. God. And that ball goes out air for real. Good play there by Scott Kearns, and Shane Kavanagh makes Willie go, maybe gives him a 30-yard run to the far side. I don't see Willie going after that one, but 118 to 12 points, 5 minutes left plus whatever at a time. Joe Mullins adds on here in the second half. Puck out coming for the Scariff goalkeeper William Kavanagh, goes over the far side looking for Patrick Crotty, isolated over there with McCrory does well. This man has played underage hurling and has played for the county at adult level as well. The ball out to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin drives it down to Kirby. Kirby gets away from the tackle of Owen Keehan. Keehan, in fairness, he's dogged, Pat. He's getting that hurling in
today, yeah. In fairness to him, yeah.
And Cahill, the brother, comes to support him. The ball back to Ian O'Brien. Great touch from Sweeney. Sweeney takes on the tackle of and he goes into tackle into maybe charged into Mark O'Loughlin. Harsh enough maybe, but O'Loughlin, experienced campaigner, good cornerback, stood his ground. 4 minutes plus added time left here in Dr Daly Park. Scariff 1 goal 18. Corofin 12 points. Donal Moloney, the Scariff manager, still issuing instructions here to the Scariff team out here. It is free from Gerard Kelly. 45 metres out. You'd expect maybe to narrow the deficit. Here comes Gerard. Gerard puts it. 1 goal and 18 to 13 points. Looking at the standard of the game, Pat, it hasn't been of the highest quality, but Scariff won't worry about that once they get the job done.
Yeah, I think the sign of the way the game is by the silence of the crowd for the last 15 minutes. The crowd has no reason to get involved. There isn't an awful lot happening. Mark Rogers is just keeping the score going, take it over nicely for Scariff, with him from freeze and for play and help from a couple of other lads as well, in fairness.
118 to time is Matthew Crotty. Partick could put the coup de grace on here, and another brilliant save by the goalkeeper Liam Corbett. He didn't play for the Clare Miners for no reason many years ago there, and he gets that ball out from Evan Doolan out to Killian McCrory. In fairness to Corbett, he's been one of the better players for Corofin today, Pat.
Outstanding save. That's a brilliant save from Crotty, and as good as you'll see, and we've seen a lot of good saves over the last few weekends, but that's certainly up there as a top drawer save. And but as I said, look, the game is petering out. Leo 180 to 13, and I suppose we can see why maybe Corofin are, in this situation. They're just lacking a bit of drive, motivation, maybe skill in places as well, just not happening for them.
Yeah, that ball is out of Mark Rogers, recycles the ball with Crotty, and he's Patrick. He's going again. There's definitely a goal. There's an overlap on here. I don't expect this man to miss. It's Mark Rogers, and he puts it into the back of the net. 2 goals and 18 points to 13 points. There's a triumph for the players coming through. Patrick to Mark. Ian O'Brien pulled away off the loop to create the overlap. And Mark has gone down 218 to 13 points, 2 minutes plus at a time. And with that goal gone in, it gives the signal for the patrons here, a lot of patrons here in Dr. Daly Park, maybe to hit into Zimmer by Melcusic Park to see Fecal and Clooney, the first of a real, interesting, entertaining double-header to come, and great for the patrons. Liam Corbett with the puck out, 218 to 13 points. Corofin looking at a relegation final, a final you don't want to be in, but look what they were there last year to get out of it. Can they get out of it again, Pat? It will be a big battle with themselves and Joseph's.
Well, obviously Joseph's was doing reasonably well to hold the market to a point, with 1 score or 1 point at that, so maybe Joseph's a younger team, maybe hungrier as well, so Corofin will certainly have to pick it up after this.
That ball goes down the top of Diarmuid Cahill.
No.
James Organ has a chance for a green flag, but Diarmuid Net comes out to stop his progress. A ball in and is saved inside by the goalie, and Kavanagh just drives it out to Patrick Ryan. He's goal in the first half, gave daylight to Scariff. What a pick up from Ryan. He touched first class today, did he? He makes a cut of us by hopping the ball off the ground. They won't come up off the ground as quick these as Sinan Kirby. In fairness, Kirby, a young player I didn't know a lot about, working very, very hard there for Corofin.
Great pace.
Incurs a free, or takes a free off a kind of a trip by Keelan Hartigan and Gerard Kelly looking out to the line. I'd say some of the Corofin mentors aren't even looking at him at this stage, so I would imagine Corofin or Gerard will put the ball over the bar to narrow the deficit. Is there a sub coming on for Scariff? Indeed there is a sub coming on for Scariff, and looks like, is it Rory Ryan is maybe coming on for Scariff, and Matthew Crotty it is Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett is on for Scariff, and Matthew can be happy enough with his performance here in helping Scariff to secure their senior status. Kelly drops it in, not the best strike from Garrod, but it comes to Diarmaid McCall. Shane O'Brien. O'Brien has played well since he came on, and now there's definitely blasting operations. Lean. He's been blocked by Rossi Keehan and with a bit of help from Michael Scanlon. Garrod Kelly coming up taking this one. We're in the dying moments here of this senior relegation semi-final. And the prize for the winner is senior status for 2026, and it looks like Scariff have achieved that. Scariff lined the goals. It's 25-metre free. Blasting operations from Garrod Kelly. Here comes Kelly. Strikes it low. A shot is saved by William Kavanagh, and Kearns clears that ball out, back out to the same place it come from. Organ going through. Organ trying to push it over for Corofin. A lot of Scariff backs there, and Diarmaid Nash gets that ball out to Garrod Cahill. Garrod Cahill, 40 metres out. He will put this one over the bar for Corofin if he gets a chance, and it goes out to the left hand side and gone wide. And with that, we're coming towards the final conclusion here of our broadcast here on Clare GATV, here from Dr Daly Park. Scariff 2 goals in 18. Another sub is a Jack Ryan is coming on for Scariff. Not too sure who's gone off at this stage. Jack Ryan. And it looks like Scott Cairns is gone off as Donal Moloney gives the boys a chance to run the bench for their final outing here of 2025. And Pat, you have to make a decision now in the next couple of moments. There's I think Rory Ryan is warming up as well to come on. So a lot of Scariff given game time to all the players who maybe took part in their senior championship run this year. Not the run they wanted, but at least they're still in senior for 2026. You might look at your man of the match, Pat, and also, you know, Scariff, they have to regroup and go for 2026 as the ball is out with Michael Barrett. Barrett puts the ball into space looking for Sweeney. Sweeney, that's a good touch from Sweeney. A shot from Sweeney. Can he get a score? And that's a shot. It's gone into the back of the net from Pin Sweeney. In fairness, there's a lovely strike. Corbett was backpedaling, you know, and it's unfair on Corbett who had a good game, but good score from Sweeney. 3-18 to 13 points. Your contenders and your man of the match, Pat.
Yeah, well, look, on the Corofin side, I suppose Liam Corbett has made a few good saves. You're impressed with Mark O'Loughlin in only one half of hurling. At times, Garrod Cahill on an awful lot of ball there as well with the running fairers. James Organ in and out, Garrod Kelly good from frees. Stephen Cahill occasionally, but look.
As the ball you go back to the ball is dropped down.
Go through a few contenders, that
ball is in Donal Garrodi to Lean trying to make his way in. Is he going to be a shot? And it comes off the stick and one of the Scariff players out for a Shaska Coig. In fairness to Lean, Pat, he must be one of your contenders as well.
Yeah, since again in a half of hurling was very dangerous when the ball went in there. You'd wonder then if he was fit for one half, would he be not fit for the two halves? But look at people involved with teams know their teams intimately, and we can only comment from up here, so we don't have the ins and outs of it. They were the Corofin lads I mentioned there. I think on the Scariff side, they've a lot of even performances, but look, when it comes down to it, without even naming the other players, Mark Rogers has scored 112.
And here's that ball in from Garrod Kelly. Mark Rogers, as you said, a contender with 112. The ball is out to Diarmaid Nash, out to Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett gives the ball out to Patrick Ryan, full of running. Brian just puts the ball up into the corner, looking for, is it Rory Ryan? Rory just turns and shoots, and Rory finds the dressing rooms at the back of the goals, but not over the bar. The score remains 3-18 to 13 points. The sharp puck out from Liam Corbett. McRory goes long. That's one of the best strikes today. Down on top of Cahill and Lean. The ball breaks down. Organ has it, but is it Jack Ryan trying to come out with the ball. Scariff in the back there, and Diarmaid Nash with a lovely, decent, nice, tidy pick up, gets the ball out to Keelan Hartigan switched that ball across, looking for Ryan goes up, doesn't come down with it. Mark Rogers and Mark O'Loughlin, and Rogers picks up pace. Rogers, can he just put the coup de grace? And Mark Rogers with a lovely score, 3-19 to 13 points. I think that's in the discussion.
He has absolutely nailed. If he hadn't before that, the discussion was only over half time. It's just a class act. 113, brilliant scores. And assists as well. That
puck out from Liam Corbett came out to the wing back. The wing back was Sean O'Brien. The ball is cleared out by Diarmaid Nash to Shane Kavanagh. Scariff finishing in style. Out towards Patrick Crotty. Crotty is beaten to the ball with a push on the back by Evan Doolan. Evan Doolan has been one of, a man maybe is Damien O'Loughlin, and O'Loughlin has fought hard. In fairness, you can see the heads are down from Corofin. They have to get back. Obviously, they're involved in intermediate football, which will take their focus next week. But they have to get back onto the drawing board. And Sweeney is the man going taking this free for Scariff, and on this 65-metre line. Expect this to be the final action of this relegation semi-final. Ben Sweeney, normally a very good striker of a ball, and Sweeney just drills it. And Sweeney drills it over the bar to get it up. He's total with 1-1. Nice contribution from Ben Sweeney, on his introduction. And Joe Mullins calls for the ball here. And on the scoreline, a Scariff 3 goals and 20. It's Corofin 13 points. Scariff secured their senior status for 2026. And look, it's Scariff. They will be absolutely, as we said, delighted. They have senior status secured for 2026. And many, many thanks to our main sponsor here today, Bane, a great supporter of Scariff Bay community, and always supports everything we do. And we thank her for her generous sponsorship for today. Corofin going to the relegation playoff, a place they know well, but it's relief all round for Scariff, Pat.
Yeah, it's easy enough game to sum up. Scariff for the better team. They have the better hurlers. Scariff shouldn't be in this position at all, by right, Leo, with the players they have. However, it is what it is. They've come here, and the attitude was good with Scariff after maybe a little bit slow enough starting, maybe, but. Look, Corofin just didn't have what it takes to. They didn't seem to have the energy or the go about it, really. A few short passing moves didn't open up Scariff, and when they broke down, there wasn't enough good ball going in at all to their inside line. Conor Lean made a big difference as a target man when he went in, but he looked like he was reasonably fit. So. Look at Corofin will have a real battle now in that final against Dora Bearfield, who is head of a very young, very hungry team, and they will fight tooth and nail to retain their status. So anyway, look at best team won. Yeah, and with that, we're going to take a break here in Dr Daly Park, and Scariff have just secured their senior status. We'll be back in 2 minutes or thereabouts with an interview from a member of the Scariff team. And you're welcome back here to Dr Daly Park in Tulla, where Scariff have secured their senior status for 2026 with a comprehensive win here over Corofin, and we're delighted to be joined by a relieved, I think, judging by the look here, a very, very relieved Scariff manager, Donal Moloney. Donal, great to, first of all, secure senior status and, put an end, get 2025 out of the way and, go back to the drawing board and get ready for 2026.
Yeah, I think... for us, I think you mentioned the word relief there. Relegation playoffs are never really where you want to be, but unfortunately that's where we found ourselves this year. We were that bit short, but today really delighted with the attitude of the team and the way they prepared for the last 2 weeks was impeccable. They prepared as if they were preparing for a quarter-final or a semi-final of a championship, and I think that made a difference today. Yeah,
and I suppose, in your first 2 games in the championship, you're very lucky against Cratloe and Bellier, and Bellier have proved how good a team they are since, so maybe Scariff weren't as bad as everything seemed to be. Now, obviously, you were disappointed with the performance against Kilmaley, which was really a nothing game, but in terms of attitude and everything was just spot on out there today.
Oh yeah, but I think look, every group in Clare is a tough group, and we can't be lamenting that fact that we were with Bellier and Kilmaley and Cratloe, because every group is a tough group. Corofin is a tough group as well, right? So I think we were a bit off this year. We've created 6 debutants this year, into starting debutants into senior championship, right? So I think we're trying to stay afloat and build for the future at the same time, right? But we look forward now to next year because we have a responsibility in Scariff. We've got good talent, we've got good young men that the underage club have really worked at developing, and we all have a big responsibility now in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and there's no doubt you've said about the 6 debutants, and the foundation blocks are in place, and a lot of them young debutants. Sean Collins is one that comes to mind very much, really matured and impressed as the championship went on. So the seeds are there, Donal, to get ready for, the future is still bright, there's no doubt about that.
Oh, it is bright, and they're young men, right? But I look at the team sheets for, say, Inamona today, Kilnamona and Erogue. There's a lot of young men in those as well, right? So, you can't wait forever either.
No, this was time wait for no one. But look, the objective of the exercise today was to secure senior status. That is very much achieved, mission accomplished. So, look at, congratulations on that. And look at, as you said, 2026. hope springs eternal.
Yeah, I think, I just wish Corofin and St. Joseph's the very best. It's unfortunate somebody's got to go down. Corofin have turned in some tremendous performances this year as well. They drew with Clooney Quinn 2 weeks ago. So have St. Joseph's, and there's a lot of young players in St. Joseph's. I hate to see any of them going down, but I just wish the two of them the best of luck in 2 weeks' time.
Donal, and best of luck for the 2026 and the year ahead.
Thanks, Leo.